Yo, what's good YouTube? It is your boy Madness and welcome back to a brand new video. Today I'm bringing you guys the best graphic settings for Warzone Season 2 Reloaded. And as you guys know, the new Rebirth map that we got, there's been a lot of talk about the new lighting and, you know, the sun being on the other side, and sometimes people feeling like the map is inverted. Yeah, that is true. I felt the same way, and I mean the gameplay, the recordings is hard to look at sometimes because it be some harsh lighting. It doesn't look good anymore. It has like a orange tint to everything, so today we're going to talk about fixing that. Without further ado, let's get straight into these settings. So starting off with graphics, before I move on to interface, I want to talk about, you know, the essential settings to have for just having best gameplay and movement. So having camera movement on 50%, it is essential because you do not want your game to move while you're playing. If it's shaking, then you're just going to miss a lot of your shots while you're playing, so definitely have it to the least option they have, which is 50%. Now, safe area is another topic, and this can relate to FOV. People talking about if you have a lower safe area, will that affect your FOV? If you have a higher safe area, will that affect your FOV? And it certainly does. It kind of just condenses your HUD into a smaller screen, but it doesn't necessarily give you an FOV boost. So that's why I just usually have it all the way stretched out to fit my monitor, which is what you guys should do as well. If you do see that you have a big TV or something, big monitor, you want to maybe condense it a little bit, so then you can fit everything on like a smaller form factor so you can see everything. But as for FOV, it does not give, and this update, as we both know, that it did not give console its FOV, but that's a bummer. Now moving on to world motion blur, you want to have that off, and you want to have weapon motion blur off as well. If you want to add some added FPS, you want to put on weapon motion blur, and this is a pro tip that I talked about many times before in my previous graphic settings. So if you want to have some FPS boost, if you're on a PS4 and you see that the new map is giving a lot of frame drops, definitely enable weapon motion blur. This is such a underrated tip that not a lot of people know about. Having this enabled basically makes your game not focus on your gun as much, and then it focuses those pixels on the other stuff, so then it has an FPS boost. I would rock enabled for a lot of the times, but now I don't have a lot of frame drops. I'm always on 120 hertz smooth FPS, so that's why I just have it disabled. But having it enabled, it is really useful, so trust me, if you guys are having FPS issues, put on enabled. But for me, I just have it on disabled for now. Film grain, you want to have it off because you do not want anything, you know, pixelated while you're playing. You just want the gameplay to be as sharp as possible. Dismemberment and gore effects, I have it disabled. And brightness, this is also key for your gameplay. So if you want to have some dark contrast, some good colors, putting it at 50, it is essential. If you want a little bit of brightness, don't go more than 55. I used to make the mistake of having it at 65, and bro, my game was not good looking at all. So have it at 55 max, but I keep it at 50, and it makes just the colors pop more. I feel like the gun shadows, they're way more contrasted and it looks better for the game. Now, on-demand texture streaming, I have it on standard, but if you ran into a lot of FPS issues, have it off. If you're not having any FPS issues, just put it on high quality. This way your gameplay will just look the best it can possibly be. I have it on limited because sometimes I do have that FPS issue. My gameplay might just be lagging and stuff. So to avoid any issues, I just have it on standard or even disable sometimes if I'm really going through it, you know. Now moving on to the juicy stuff, we're coming to colorblind type, and this is where, you know, your colors are changed in the game, and this is what you want to pay attention to. So for old Verdansk and Verdansk 84, I rocked Tritanopian World for the longest, and the same thing applies in this new Rebirth. New Rebirth Island map, I have Tritanopian World, same thing. I do not have my colorblind type on both, which is what some people do, because I don't like it messing with my HUD, the colors of my teammate. I just like it on the world. And the thing with Tritanopia, I talked about it in my last graphic settings, but I will show you guys right now in a clip the difference it makes. So roll the clip. As you guys can see, I mean, starting with disabled. It doesn't have any changes to your colors. And then we have protanopia, and makes everything green and just dull. I don't like protanopia at all. You're better off with disabled rather than protanopia. But if you want some good colors and really change the looks of Rebirth, because we all know the lighting is all messed up right now for the new island map, you want to have deuteranopia or tritanopia. Eat one of these two, that's it. Deuteranopia, I cannot say it, and tritanopia. One of these two, 100%. Deuteranopia, it looks a little bit greener and yellow, but it has shades of pink and blue as well. And tritanopia has mainly a pink and blue hue. And I prefer the pink and blue hue. It kind of looks like Verdansk 84 sometimes, but either or is you're gonna be fine. I prefer tritanopia because that's what I rocked for the longest. Inside of buildings, I feel like tritanopia looks the best, and due to tritanopia, it looks good for the environment. So I mean, it can just be 50-50 on these ends, but make sure your brightness is on 50, and then have one of these, deuteranopia or tritanopia. It kind of just depends on your preference. I prefer the pink blue look, so that's why I have it on tritanopia. But if you want that green blue look, put it on deuteranopia. Definitely not a big deal between these two, but do not choose protanopia or disabled, 100%. And put it on world. I mean, if you want to have it on both, you could, but I just like my filters being applied to the world. Now, I mean, everything else is just typical HUD stuff. I have the minimap shape on square so I can see more things, and all this stuff is default stuff. So yeah, guys, please enjoy the gameplay. The gameplay is special because during the gameplay, I'm testing out these colorblind types. Yo, you're gonna see me killing people, and then after I kill someone, I just like switch from tritanopia to deuteranopia, and then from deuteranopia I switch to protanopia. I keep switching around, so definitely watch the gameplay because you'll see the differences between all these colorblind types. And then at the end, I resort to just sticking to tritanopia because I felt like after all those 3 filters I looked at, I found that tritanopia just looked the best to me. So yeah, definitely watch the whole video, guys. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. I played solos. It was definitely a lot of fun. I could have dropped a lot more kills, but we did go crazy, I would say so myself. So yeah, I love you guys so much, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Man, fuck you, you fat.
She got.
Pussy.
What the fuck?